Alright, so I got my tie rods. These are not super powers. They're not mega powers. These are ultra power. $3.28 a piece from Rock Auto, plus $10 shipping. Or maybe it was $10.99, $11 shipping, I don't remember. Looks like a pretty standard tie rod end. We'll take it out here. This uses the same for the left and right. And yeah, it's a good tie rod end, nice and stiff. It does not have a place where you can fill it up with grease. It does not have a cert. That's okay. I mean, it's nice if they have a cert and you can top them off once in a while, but I find that they all fail about the same time anyway. It comes with a cotter pin for this castle nut. A lot of times these castle nuts will be kind of chintzy and they'll go down, they're not tall enough, so I might use the original castle nut. And it comes with a new nut to go on the inner tie rod to lock that in. I will not replace this nut because I'll use the original nut, and I will just crack it loose and then turn it out and then crack it back, right? And bring that into the same distance if this is the same length as the old tie rod. I have gotten replacement tie rod ends that are shorter or longer. I'm hoping these are the same length. It makes it more likely to get it closer to being in alignment. But I'll get in alignment on this, but I'd like to at least have it drivable for now. But yep, I got two of those. And so we're gonna jack it up and get the tire off of it. There where it belongs. Oh heck, I'm gonna have to lay down. This thing's so low. Get on the pinch weld. Take her up. Going up. Squeaky jack. It's just squeaky today. I've been using the heck out of it here lately. I don't need to jack up both sides at the same time to do this. But I did when I was checking the wheel bearings and stuff, but I don't need to now. I don't have a jack stand under yet, so I'm not going to get under the car. Yeah, trust me, I have had jack stands fail. I've nearly been crushed to death like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it didn't actually fall on me, but the last time was my rendezvous. And that thing came down off the jack stands just after I was under there working. Like 3 minutes after I slid out from under the car, it just whoom, the jack stand flattened. That was scary because I was completely laying under the car. That's why people all the time are like, oh, that carnivore diet's going to give you a heart attack. You're going to die. You're going to get the cancer, blah, blah, blah. Like, first of all, carnivore doesn't cause that. Sugar and seed oils do. But, as far as that goes, I'm not afraid of dying. I could die today. This could follow me and kill me while I'm working on it. I could get in a car accident. Anything could happen and I could die. Some people are just so worried about when and how they're going to die. That looks good. That's pretty good. That's under the subframe there. Now, a lot of people will throw this jack stand under here loose. Alright. and they'll be like, oh, that's good enough. I don't need to like get it to where it's completely snug. It'll catch the car if the jack lets go. No. A lot of times the jack lets go and it slams down an inch or two and hits that jack stand. That jack stand's gonna go. It's meant to be able to hold as much weight as it holds. See, this is a 2-ton, right? And that's for 2 of them, so each one is a 1/2 ton, right? The ratings on jack stands are always done in sets of 2. But it won't handle that if it's got momentum behind it. It won't hold that weight. So you always want to, if possible, always snug the car down to the jack stands. There are times when you just can't, but I usually do 2 jack stands, or just try to be as safe as possible, 2 jacks. Really, you want 3 points if you're going to be working underneath of a car. You want 3 points of support, possibly 4. I do it all the time with 2 though. I just live dangerous. So now what we'll do is we'll just let this jack down, and snug it up to that jack stand nice and slow. Okay, and then we'll take and jack it back up a little bit. Put some pressure on the jack too. That way we got 2 good points of support. Right. And now we're ready to get started. Alright, so here's our tie rod end that we're going to change. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take and we're going to break this tie rod nut loose. This is a 24. If you have an aftermarket tie rod, it might be something different. I'm sure they all come with different things. Ooh, she's a tight one. That's about a 1/2 of a turn. And what I'm going to do is get some WD-40 because this thing's pretty rusty crusty. Not wanting to turn. And we'll just move her back. Oh, come on. Oh. Let's see if I can get this to stick up here. Okay. Okay, and now we'll turn it back out. And we'll just have to move it a few times to get it good and lubed up. This will make it easier for the alignment tech too. There, she's freeing up now. And make sure your inner tie rod's not turning. This one is not. But if your inner tie rod starts turning, then it's coming out, in and out of here. You don't want that. Now we'll spray that down with some more. And we'll go ahead and turn that back in now. Okay, that's good. So now what I'm going to do is take and tighten this clear up to there, and then we're going to break it loose with this in the middle. We don't want this tilted this way or this way. We want it right in the middle. Just to try to get it as close as we can. up. That's tight. Okay. So now we're just gonna grab a hold of this with some pliers right here on the boot to help keep it from turning. And we're gonna break that loose. So we want to remember that we're right there, tight, about a quarter of a turn loose. Okay. So now we're ready to get under here and get this cotter pin out. Let me show you. Okay, so we have to get this cotter pin right here out. And it's bent right there. Oh, we'll try to straighten it and take it out the easy way. If not, we'll get the cutters. So we'll bend this one back. Maybe. Here. We'll bend that one back. And we'll bend these together. And then we'll try to hit it out. It may not come out. We'll have to take this and kind of twist it. We'll get some WD-40 on her. They're pretty rusted in there. We'll get our pick. And there we go. Now we gotta find the right size socket for down here. It is not a 17. It's not a 19. It is an 18. Probably. Well, no, that's not it. Yeah, here's an 18. Okay. So now we sprayed that. We'll just spray it again for good measure. Put some spray on her. And now we'll just take our ratchet and see if we can break this guy loose. You can impact these if you're up in the air, but this is pretty low to the ground. Woo. Let me get her all the way out and get some leverage. Oh. Oh, man, I just hit myself in the chin with the ratchet. What the heck? Darn socket came off. This is coming out pretty hard the whole way. And we'll go ahead and just, we're probably going to reuse this castle nut. If it's a bigger one, we'll see. We'll see. Sometimes they give you some pretty cheap castle nuts, but that's really Advanced Auto parts. That is not so much Rock Auto. They have better parts. Now we get the BFH 9000 and we give her some shock and awe right there. That's going to knock that loose. Man, she really in there. Alright, I'm going to have to move the camera back so I can get a bigger swing. There we go. And that comes up out of there. We'll get some towels and wipe that off. Clean this up a little bit. It doesn't matter if it's really dirty. It'll go in there just fine. Alright, now we want to turn out our tie rod in, but that bolt is still hanging on there, so let's get her a little. No, she's not going to turn off there. Usually these turn off pretty easy, but I think that rust has penetrated down into the threads, so we're going to have to get something and hold our tie rod and then turn this off. Some tie rods will have a little hex spot so that you can put a crescent wrench on them. This one just has two little ridges, and I will grab a hold of that with a pair of the original made in USA. I don't know what that says. Something manufacturing. These are the original vice grips. These were my father-in-law's. I saw these and I was like, yep, I'm keeping those. Those are a good tool. All you can get now is the cheap made in China stuff. Even the Eagle place that took over the old vice grip factory and was trying to make them in the USA, they went out of business. So what we can do is just turn this until it locks like up against the axle or whatever. And then we're gonna go on to here. There's a little square spot. Ooh, man, she's on there. She is on there. My light is just all the wrong light and all the right light in all the wrong places, I'll tell you. She'll come eventually. Probably. Oh, jeez. I don't want to break my ABS sensor. Okay, these normally aren't this hard. This one's pretty bad. Whoa. Let me make sure I'm still loose. I am. I might have to get the torches out and heat this sucker to get it to break loose. Man. She's on there. Let me try again. That sucker's on there. Let me get a torch and heat her up. I don't think I'll have to get out the oxyacetylene for this. A little MAP gas should do the trick. And we'll just get her heated up. Jiggly, jiggle, jiggly. Oh yeah, she got all kinds of rusty crusties and plastic pieces coming out of her. Man. Spray some penetrant in there, because as you heat this, that'll wick that penetrant down on the threads, hopefully. I don't know if it really does, but you know, whatever it takes. Oxyacetylene would be faster, but this will do the trick. Let's see if that's enough. Man, oh man. There she goes. I think. Or did she? I don't know if she turned or if the vice grip slipped. One or the other. I think the vice grips might have slipped. Come on. Woo. She's on there. Let's try it and see if we can get her out of there. Oh, I saw her move just a little bit, I think. I don't know if she turned or if the tie rod's turning. No, that whole tie rod's turning. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. Holy crap, she's on there. Alright, it's time to get serious and break out the oxyacetylene. Alright, that should be hot enough. Man, she is still not coming. Holy crap. Well, you can heat her up a little more red. I just don't want to get this so hot that I transfer heat back there and ruin that inside tie rod. But at this point, I'm going to have to chop the inside tie rod end off if I don't get this loose. So. pretty good. That was cherry red. Starting to take some slag off of it. I'm gonna try it that while I try it. Not burn myself. We'll see. There she comes. Yep, you're gonna have to get hotter. I have to heat her up again? Man. Now I got those threads broken loose. Once it all cools down, it might come off of there. It may not. Just huffing the WD-40, baby. I'll tell you, I never had one as stuck as this. I got it to where it'll turn a little bit back and forth. But, you know, you just keep trying to turn it and it does not come. I've used, you know, all of my Panther piece. I used some PB blasters, some Roll King stuff, some fluid film, some coil. I worked it back and forth, got it in the threads. Just is not coming. So we're gonna heat it back up one more time. See what she does. No. Darn it. Okay. I guess I need to come out there hard all the way. Too hot. I need to get my gloves on. Yeah. This is unbelievable. I have never seen a tie rod end stuck on this tight. Holy crap. On the mechanic's car. No less. Not even a customer's car. She's coming at least now. She's at least starting to come. But man. I could probably turn it by hand now, almost. But it's just too hot to get a good grip on. she finally comes. She's hot. Yes! Victory is mine! There the old one is. Holy crap, that was on there. That was on there. But we can lube those threads down real good and they'll be fine. Yeah? And our inner tie rod end is just fine. So, inner tie rod end lived. Yay! Now see, normally if you're doing this at home and you don't have a fire wrench, you can just take and cut this off and slide your inner tie, take the boot off, cut this off, slide your inner tie rod tool in there and break it loose, and you'll just have to do an inner and outer tie rod end. But I'm cheap. I probably use more in acetylene than it would have cost to do that, but hey, what the heck? Alright, so those are my little oxyacetylene tanks. I got the tanks for free from my friend who was a mechanic, and then he also gave me regulators and he gave me the torch. I had to go and buy the hoses at Harbor Freight, and then I had to buy a little adapter for the acetylene to hook up. And yeah, it works to really put some heat on stuff, or you can cut it. I mean, I could have cut that off, but that would have messed up the threads most likely, which I didn't want to do because I was trying to save the part, the inner tie rod. Yes, you can get to where you're so good you can cut that without messing up the threads. I'm not that good. Yeah, so I've got that little tank, and the thing is they won't fill them unless you're an official business. And even when I was an official business with the vendor's license and insurance and everything, I still wasn't official enough. And so I have to take them to the junkyard, and then they take and drop them off with their tanks and get them filled for me, and I pay them back. It's the only way I can get them filled now. So I'd like to try not to use them because that's kind of a pain in the butt to go through to get them filled. But, once in a while, you gotta have a fire wrench if you're gonna get the job done. It's a real time saver. So, yep. Alright, folks. So, I'm done with this for now. We're gonna put the other tie rod back in. I didn't count the number of turns or any of that stuff. I moved the nut. It's not gonna go back anywhere close to where it was. I'll just have to tape measure the front suspension when I get it back together. Try to set it for 1/8 of an inch toe in, keep the wheel as straight as possible, and get it as close as I can so that I can get it over to the alignment rack. It's just gonna take that. It looks like I need new sway bar bushings like crazy on this car too, but yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.